Look, we get it, Tiger fans. We know the baseball season can be a grind. Luckily, when you're ready to trade hot dogs for tailgates, we've got you covered with Litterbox, a Detroit Lions podcast. It's the same unfiltered Detroit sports talk you get here, just with more biting kneecaps and fewer bullpen meltdowns. So when Sunday rolls around, don't just pace around like AJ Hinch waiting for a reliever. Fire up Litterbox, a Detroit Lions podcast, wherever you're listening now, and roar with us through the NFL season.
Billy P. from the D and Chet here. Thank you all for listening to Litterbox, a Detroit Tigers podcast. If you enjoy the show, please make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an episode. We love hearing your thoughts, too. Leave us a rating or just drop us a comment. Please let us know what you think and whatever you want us to cover next. Your feedback really helps us grow and keeps the Tigers talk rolling all season long. Go Tigers, and thank you.
You're listening to The Litterbox, a Detroit Tigers podcast, with your hosts, Chet West and Bill Patterson.
Welcome to the Detroit Tigers Litterbox, and thank you all for supporting us and listening. This is your host, Billy P., with my co-host, Chet, and the Tigers limped their way into the playoffs as a wild card and now have a best-of-3 series at Progressive Field in Cleveland against the Guardians, or Indians, as my co-host likes to call them. Tigers...
By accident. I don't do it because I want to spite the new Guardian name. I don't care about the Guardian name thing. It's fine, I get it, but I keep saying it by accident. It's more of just a mental slip. My apologies.
I wasn't accusatory, and I'm sorry. That really did slip out wrong.
I wasn't apologizing to you.
So, if I can, my son Grady and I have always had a very hot take on the Indians switching their name to the Guardians, because the Indians wasn't Cleveland's original baseball team's name.
No. Do you know what it was? Yeah, I know you do. It was a dumb question. Spiders.
And Grady has always thought, what a cool name that would be.
Cleveland Spiders? Like, why would you keep that?
You could do so many things with the ball cap and the jersey and the branding of the team nickname and moniker, and it just seems like such a letdown to be.
Yeah.
Because you already have Spiders as part of your pedigree and history, why wouldn't you continue that, opposed to Guardian just seems really benign? Is that fair to say? Or
isn't it supposed to be like a Marvel was big, and so the Guardians of the Galaxy thing? Wasn't it something around all that?
Oh, geez.
It's a weird deal. I don't really get it. I don't understand why they've gone Guardians. I don't get the name. Here's what I want you to do, Bill. I'm going to give you an assignment.
Yeah, homework. I love it.
When this series is done, win or lose, we're either going to cap off the season with a pod, or we're going to introduce whatever's next for the playoffs and the top, whichever way we go. I would like you to do a quick homework assignment, because I know you like these things.
Oh, yeah.
I want you to, why did they name themselves the Spiders? Was it just because spiders are like a dangerous being animal that bite, and so they were like, let's pick a insect that bites? Or is there something about Cleveland and spiders? Did they have a massive spider infestation that took out half the city? I don't know. I have no clue. Or I'm going with the previous. Or I also want to know, like, where the Guardians come from. Do the real research on that. If it's a Marvel thing, I'm going to die laughing.
So Guardians I don't have for you, but Spiders I already did.
You do. You have that.
I showed up to class prepared, Professor.
Oh, my goodness. A+.
So they were, now mind you, these were all, the team themselves was known as the Cleveland Baseball Club. The writers that followed them were the ones that assigned all the names.
Okay.
Meaning that, like, the Chicago Cubs were originally the Whales, and then they became the Cubs because of Cap Anson was the manager, and they were his baby troop
Whales,
or whatever.
Or Cubs. They were his baby Cubs.
Okay. Yeah, but I don't know how it went from Whales to Cubs.
Yeah.
That's a different pod. The Spiders were because they had skinny, lanky builds, and they wore black and gray uniforms with the nickname sticking after a rival executive made the joke, "They look spidery."
Oh my gosh. That is incredible. And that might be some of the great people. We are basically dropping pearls on you all over this podcast all season long. Bill just brought something special to the table there. I learned something today.
I appreciate that.
That took my day from a 3 to a solid 4. Thank you for that.
Real quick, weekend and recap, even though everybody already
But I want to know why they did the Guardians, so that's assignment number 2.
Hold on. We got to tease that just a little. I didn't.
Okay.
I took your high heat and laid
I
off it,
understand.
and now I'm going to wait for you to throw your Tommy Cannelly knuckle.
Oh, dear.
And then
Here
I'm going
come the playoffs,
I'm going to
people.
tee off on it.
Here come the playoffs.
Friday night, the Tigers lost to the Red Sox. They were competitive. And what's interesting about this is that the Red Sox clinched playoff berth, and essentially the AL East was out of reach for them. So they took their foot off the gas, which was nice. So that was a 4-3 loss for the Tigers.
Yep.
Saturday was a different story. The Tigers won 2-1. Weird game. We'll get to it in just a minute on this. Then the Tigers clinched because the Astros, if we thought the Tigers showed an exercise in futility in the month of September, the Houston Astros might have set new precedent, with the exception they didn't blow a 15.5 game lead.
True.
Go ahead.
True. The depth of the lead wasn't as incredible, but they still blew it. And if you want to take it another step further, look at the Mets. I mean, the Mets are a disaster. I read an article the other day about this in The Athletic. I mean, they have a $300+ million payroll, and they didn't make the playoffs. And it's chaotic. Their manager, who I think as of a year ago was getting all sorts of accolades and pats on the back for the work he had done, now he gets this $300 million payroll, and you can't get him to the playoffs. And apparently the locker room has got not rifts, they just don't have clear leadership. And you start reading that stuff, and it's like the chemistry of baseball, of assembling a roster that gets you to the promised land. It's high science here. It's high science. It's a very difficult thing to do.
Is it alchemy?
It's alchemy. It's alchemy. Thank you for that word. That's lovely. What I'm saying is you're either buying it outright like the old school Yankees, and I say old school 15, 20 years, whatever, 10 years, 15 years ago, or the current Dodgers, where you've got like Ohtani and Betts, and you're like worst player in the everyday lineup is who? Like Kike Rodriguez? I don't even know.
I don't know if that's a fair comparison.
Or Kike, is it Kike? What's Kike's last name?
You look him up while I just
I'm going to do that.
I'm going to disagree with you a little bit on we're talking about the late 90s, early 2000 Yankees teams. The core of that team was homegrown, and Jorge Posada,
Kike Rodriguez,
Derek Jeter, Bernie Williams, and Mariano Rivera were these stalwarts of that team, which reminded me somewhat, it's what we hoped the 84 Tigers would have become.
Somewhat, yes.
But obviously better players all the way around. And then the Yankees filled it in wherever they needed to because they had more money.
They'd go buy a veteran and just right there.
Dodgers, for some weird reason, not only have an unbelievable farm system, they also sign whomever they want, free agent. No surprise.
And then they go get guys at the trade deadline, too. They aren't quiet then either.
They fleece the rest of the league in some of these trades that are just head scratching. If I had to give kudos, going back to game 2, it was the Monteros that actually did the yeoman's work on this.
Yep.
And Kenter only allowed a run. He pitched 4 1 inning or 4 1/3. And then Rafael came on and pitched 1 1/3, and they did fairly well with that. The Tigers lost 4-3 on Sunday, and fortunately for the Tigers, they did not start Tarek Skubal because the Guardians also won that day. And so had they wasted that Skubal start, even if they had won at Fenway, it wouldn't have mattered. So they lost 4-3. They didn't take the division. It's still a 15.5 game collapse. It's the largest collapse in the history of divisions or
Totally. Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. Divisions in baseball.
But they still get a postseason berth.
And I learned this nugget today. The Detroit Tigers have been playing baseball for 125 years. Do you want to take a stab at how many playoff appearances they have in 125 years?
In 125, I'm going to say 42.
20.
20. I thought it was going to be under 20 in 125 years.
Yes.
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing.
So,
do you have a secondary stat to go along with that, or did you just
no,
look
I
up?
guess
Okay.
basically what I'm trying to say is,
Wasn't there some stat around the back-to-back playoff bids that they've received? Because I know they haven't done that very often. It's something like 5 times. Some crazy number.
Yeah, because even when we grew up, 68, they won the World Series. I don't believe they made the playoffs in the 70s. And then they made it in 84, won the World Series. They made it in 87, lost to the Twins in the LCS, and then had a drought until like 2006.
Wow, that's crazy.
Unless
there's been a lot of gaps. We'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
So in game 2, I would like to take a second and just tell you how I feel. We haven't had a chance to do an appreciation game for this gentleman, but I feel like Jahmai Jones, this is the Jahmai Jones appreciation game.
And well-deserved, and I'm glad you did it because I had it in my shot sheet.
Good.
That I
I'm
wanted
glad you
to
feel
give
the
him.
same way.
No, 100%.
I think he's a guy that out of spring training, like he was scrappy in spring. I was like, they should have this guy as a bench guy. He seems like the kind of guy that'll produce at a clip that's good for our bench.
Yeah.
And then they didn't bring him up immediately. I think he did some AAA time there at the beginning of the season, maybe in the first half of the season. And I thought it was in error. I think who did they bring up? Of Kreidler or somebody like that to start the season? And I was like, ugh. I would much rather have a Jahmai Jones on the roster right now. And I'm sure it had to do with like position need or whatever.
Are you just airing all your dirty laundry before the playoffs by bringing up Ryan Kreidler?
No, we'll do that for the end of season podcast. This is just my example of when I first noticed Jahmai Jones could be a productive player on our team. And it took all the way until game number 161 for him to get his bouquets, as you like to say. So I give Jahmai Jones the game ball for game 161.
Excellent. I love it.
What about 163? What happened there?
162.
There isn't a 163 yet. Game 162. It might have felt like a 163.
They lost 4-3, and I feel like it was basically the month or the last 6 weeks of the season in a microcosm.
Yeah.
Things went well, but things also didn't go well. And I know I'm being very vague in that.
Yeah.
But that is essentially the microcosm that has become the Detroit Tigers' second half of the season. It's bewildering how this team can be so good and yet so bad. And here's how I would summarize yesterday's game. You had a chance to tie it.
Yeah.
With a runner on, 2 outs, and guess who came to bat?
It's got to be like Trey Sweeney or something. Somebody infuriating. Jake Rogers?
The center field version, Parker Meadows.
Really? Okay, Parker Meadows. But Parker has been better. He went 2 for 4 yesterday.
He did go 2 for 4, so.
Come on. He's been better since the call-up. He has been better.
That is certainly true.
Since the injury.
This was the lineup, though, yesterday, which tells you how serious the Tigers were. Meadows batting leadoff, McKinstry in the 2, Malloy, Carp, Perez, Baez, Sweeney, Ibanez, Jake.
It was kind of like let's make sure everybody gets to play once before the season's over. It was a pretty rough lineup. And the pitching was like Paddock, Paul Sewald, and Tanner Rainey. It was like, I hope you didn't come to the ballpark to see the Tiger stars out there flashing the leather.
Had I known that's how deep they were going to go, I would have brought my mitt and shown up at Fenway because I probably would have gotten a long toss in at least.
We're looking for someone to play left field. I still think they were better situated with what they threw out there than having any of us play. But I get where you're going from. Maybe. I get where you're going with that.
Hey, do you know who's gotten hot recently as well? So one more shout out, if we can give a game ball.
Yeah.
Ibanez went 3 for 3, and you're right about Meadows going 2 for 4, but Ibanez has been on a slight heater of sorts, so just something to be
Just
on the
playoff cookies, playoff thoughts there, treats for you.
Here's my prediction.
Okay.
Because can we move to the playoffs?
Yeah,
or
let's
do you
move
want,
to the
or
playoffs.
do you want?
Let's just. I'm done with the regular season.
Okay.
Game 162 is over and out. We are
Done.
now in the playoffs. We start tomorrow. We got the illustrious noontime start Central Time. Let's go. What do you got?
You've got the two smallest markets playing in the postseason.
I get it. We are second-class citizens in Major League Baseball at this juncture.
So what would you like first? Would you like why the Guardians are named the Guardians? Would you like Billy P. from the D's prediction on this series?
Do you already have an answer to essay question number 2?
Oh,
please share it with the crowd here.
All right. They decided on their new name and logo because it was inspired by the Art Deco Guardians of Traffic statues on the Hope Memorial Bridge in downtown Cleveland. It is a landmark close to Progressive Field, and that is what they decided to do. Because they were under heat in 2021 is when they made the change, because Indians was offensive to...
Yeah, we know the story on that. I find that reachy. I think some kid sent in Guardians and this sounds cool. Can we find a local flair to pick this up? And they said the Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy is pretty cool. I don't know. I like my story better.
I like your story better too.
I still think it's a dumb name for a team. That's all I'm gonna leave it at that.
Agree, 100%.
Sorry, Cleveland.
Spiders would be better. Indians would be better.
Yeah.
Really quick, or just the Wahoos, because Chief Wahoo
the Wahoos actually would be a pretty good name
was
for a baseball
the
team.
mascot on the hat. That was great.
Yeah.
Real quick, one last thing. When we go to Cleveland to do a live pod in the future, we're going to this Hope Bridge, and I don't care if I have to climb barricades and get arrested. I'm climbing up to see who these Guardians are to get a
closer look at them?
No, I want to Instagram and tweet this stuff out.
Right.
So you can join me or not, or just pay my bail to get me out of the Cleveland Municipal, whatever.
We'll see what it looks like when we get there. I may just take pictures
jail.
of you. I may just take pictures of you for the Instagram from down below.
Done. I like it. All right, let's
Game
talk.
1.
You got Scoobs and you got Gavin.
Yeah, here's the thing. I'm a fan of this matchup. I think it's going to be a doozy. All right.
I do too.
I think Scooble's going to come ready to roll. I don't think the home field advantage is that big a deal, mainly because the Guardians just swept us at home this past September. Twice. No, they didn't sweep us at home twice.
No.
You're holding up 2 fingers. What does that mean?
They just won the last 2 series in decisive fashion.
Oh, yeah, but one of them was a sweep at home, and whatever. We can win away, we can win home, whatever we need to do. I'm not picky about this right now. We got Scooble going first, who should be the Cy Young winner this year. Notice I didn't call him the Cy Young winner this year. You got on me in the last episode for that. I think all we need to do is just play. Our offense needs to show up a little bit. Give Scooble 4 runs. We win this game.
So I'm making
4 runs is the magic number.
Oh, easy. I would even lower that by 1 and say 3. Tigers win this series in 2. They're going to get the win.
Oh,
they're getting the win tomorrow.
Look who went to Positive Town. Holy cow. Okay.
And I'm giving a shout out to a quick gentleman by the name of Justin Bibb. You familiar with him?
Justin Bibb. Why would I know whom this is?
You wouldn't, because he's the mayor of Cleveland, and I'm challenging him from this pod that Justin Bibb, when we win, you're going to send Chet and I some of your delicious Cleveland Polish boy sandwiches.
Does he know this? He doesn't know this. This is our invitation here.
Oh, yeah. And then he gets to pick what he wants, either if he wants walleye on a stick from the Twin Cities and or one of Chicago's delicacies. Or, you know what? Chet, we'll even send him a Detroit delicacy. Justin, we love what you're doing politically. We love what you're doing for the city of Cleveland. This is just a fun little mayor bet, even though we're not mayors. We're the kings of our own castle.
We're the mayors of Litterbox Town.
Yeah, and we just thought if we could break bread with you, you look like a guy that probably enjoys a good encased meat or sandwich or fried fish on a stick.
Game 2, who is now I know Tanner Bibby's going to be starting for the Guardians. We've gotten to him before. We've hit him a little bit before. Who is starting for us, Bill? This is like the $24 million question. Who goes after Skubal? Is it Flaherty, Mize, or a wild card like Melton?
So going back to my prediction, provided the Tigers get the win tomorrow, it's going to be all three.
You think so? You think it's going to be a three-headed monster? A three-headed monster of Flaherty, Mize, and Melton. Okay.
That's a T-shirt. You just did it. That's a bumper sticker.
So here's the deal. I think who's going to start the game is what I want to know. The
law firm of Flaherty, Mize, and Melton.
Flaherty, Mize, and Melton.
You're going to go Melton in late in terms of starting. Probably I would go Mize for the first 4, depending on how he's doing, and then bring Flaherty in for 2 to 3.
Really?
And then go Melton, then go Vest, Finnegan Vest.
Oh, my goodness. Depends on how close it is. Here's the deal. I think they're going to put Flaherty in the number 2 game. I think he's going to get number 2. Mize will get number 3. I would really like to see Troy Melton out there. I really would, because I think he's a better pitcher than probably Flaherty is. I don't know, because Flaherty's been good in September, though. But if we get bad Flaherty, here we go. We're going to overthink this. Just start Flaherty in game 2, Mize in game 3, and go with it. That's all we got to do. Troy doesn't have to pitch quite yet. We'll keep him in the pen for relief options, long relief, whatever from there.
I know what I just said was fantasy, and I was saying it tongue-in-cheek. I do think if the Tigers win game 1, that all hands on deck will go for everything game 2. The Tigers are going to try to get out of there quick.
Yeah. Do you think we should roll with the same lineup we rolled with in game 3 versus the Red Sox this past weekend?
No.
It's a test. It's a test. I threw all these other difficult questions at you. I wanted to make sure that you were still locked in. Yeah, we're not going to do that, I hope.
So we should bring Green and Carp off the bench.
You've got Tigers in 2.
2.
I think that's the way they win. If they drop game 1, sayonara on the season.
Peace out.
If they can't get game 2, sayonara on the season. I think they have to go boom, boom, win 1, win 2. Sorry, I just don't see this thing going 3 games, one way or the other, just because of the way they've played and the momentum and everything else. So I think they got to get game 1 with Skubal on the bump. Game 2 with Flaherty. Don't let this go game 3. God, don't do that to us. And every game in this series is a noon start, by the way, people. So if you want to watch, you're going to sit on your phone at work and be half as productive as normal, which is like half as productive as normal people, I know. But it's like you're going to have to watch on your phone. You're taking the day off, whatever you're doing, because we can't have nice things. We can't have a primetime game. And I'm bitter about that.
Quick question. I sense your bitterness and recognize it.
I don't like it.
I find it very unusual that Major League Baseball is keeping the same time slots for each team for all 3 games.
Yeah.
I understand.
Isn't that weird? Usually I thought they shuffled it around a little bit.
So did I. And I understand the LA nighttime because they're at home. But I would be super upset if I were a Reds fan right now.
If, and I say if, because it's a big if, we were to win, we go on to play Seattle, I believe. And those games are all at night.
Okay.
So we get the night games if we play Seattle.
I'm not opposed to daytime playoff baseball. I'm with you. I find it a little interesting that they kept the same time slots. It seems a little lazy on baseball, like they're keeping the same crews there, same. So anyhow.
So this is what we get for extra teams in extended series. Remember when we had like a 1-game wild card or whatever it was? A week wild is terrible.
So real quick, just so you know, if Flaherty does start Wednesday, he will not be in September anymore, buddy. He'll be in October.
October Flaherty. Is that a good Flaherty?
We don't know.
I don't
All
know.
right.
He wasn't good last year for the Dodgers.
So you alluded to your pick as well,
Yeah.
a sweep.
I'm staying with you in the fact that we win the first 2 games, or we don't win this thing at all.
So the analogy I heard today, you probably heard it as well, is that the Guardians, Spiders, Indians, there's no more toothpaste left in the tube. They exhausted it all.
Really?
Yeah.
And what did we do? Store some for later?
I guess we put fluoride on our teeth and just forgot to rinse. I don't know.
It's the mouthwash and nothing else. Boy.
Yeah, Chet, I don't have an answer for you on that, but I thought it was funny enough to repeat. And
yeah, I love that as a closer for this episode. I felt like that strong will go out on the fluoride comment. Folks, the Tigers have a best of 3 series to wind this whole thing down. 2025 has been an absolutely insane season up to now. I hope it extends well beyond. I hope we get a lot of postseason play. If we don't, this has been a ton of fun. Regardless, Bill and I will be back to cover whatever happens after this series. Try to enjoy yourself some noontime baseball over the next 2 to 3 days. Hopefully it's only 2. Go Tigers. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the Litter Box, a Detroit Tigers podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're Bill and Chet. We'll be back soon with more Tigers talk. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to follow or subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. And hey, if you got a minute, leave us a quick review. Till next time, go Tigers.